When the Charlie's Angels pilot aired as a TV movie on March 21st, 1976, the Angels proved they could pull in an audience.
When the show debuted, it exploded. Just exploded on the scene. The three leading ladies were just magic together.
And the show got like a 48 share. And Aaron and I looked at each other and we said, there's something here. It was, and the network couldn't believe it either. I mean, it was a giant rating for this.
But ABC questioned a basic concept. How could three gorgeous women fight crime without more male help?
Well, actually, in the pilot, the network wanted us to have another character, another guy.
The second man, played by David Ogden Stiers, was there to lend an extra hand if the girls got into trouble.
So we had David Doyle, and we had this other character, and the three girls, and they were falling all over each other. When we went to series, we said we want to drop the guy, and the network said to us, well, who's going to save the girls at the end? And we said, they're going to save themselves. And we used the example of Policewoman, because they said, well, look at Policewoman.
That series starred Angie Dickinson as a cop with a male partner played by Earl Holliman.
Angie was doing Policewoman at the same time, and but she had to call Earl Holliman to come to the rescue. Come, Mr. Holliman, I need you. And he would come to the rescue.
Well, what if you only had a choice of one person? Would you have Earl Holliman or Angie Dickinson? You can't have both. They said, well, Angie Dickinson. I said, we got three. We don't need it. And three more Earl Hollimans.
So David Ogden Stiers was let go. He went on to star as Major Charles Winchester in MASH. The network had another concern with the scripts. There seemed to be more emphasis on cheesecake than smart detective work.
Hi.
The network said to us when we started delivering our scripts, this isn't good enough. They have to be like Columbo. They have to be more mysteries, more, they used to say, peeling the onion.
I mean, if I lived in a building with a manager built like you, I'd really want to get to know him. Hold that pose!
They put forth what we thought the audience wanted to see, which were the Angels. Their clothes, their cars, the fun they had, and the action.
But producing an action show on a tight budget was a real challenge.
The schedule was 7 days. I mean, not 7.5 days, not 7.25 days, not 7 days and an hour. It was 7 days. If you didn't come in 7 days, you didn't work there anymore.
One place they didn't skimp was wardrobe. The Angels would wear the latest fashions. In every scene, they managed to look stylish and sexy. And with a wardrobe budget of $25,000 a week, designer Nolan Miller had a lot to work with.
There were no other shows that really concentrated on the look of the star, not episodical television, and certainly they did not spend that kind of money.
Nolan Miller's beautiful gowns and classic outfits helped create the show's unique look.
I love Nolan, and I think Nolan is the epitome of glamour. I think his fashions are reminiscent of maybe the 40s and Hollywood, and you don't get more glamorous than that.
Aaron usually was very complimentary to me about whatever they were wearing. And one day, he was in the projection room looking at the dailies, and he said, "What the hell is Jacqueline Smith doing wearing a fur coat?" And I said, "Well, why?" He said, "She's supposed to be a policewoman, Nolan." And I said, "But it's not an expensive fur coat." He said, "I don't care. She doesn't look like a policewoman."
But one Angel didn't buy into the show's fashion sense.
It's very difficult to do a show when someone just isn't into clothes. They don't care about the clothes, as Kate Jackson was. All she ever wanted to wear was a black turtleneck sweater and some jeans. She just didn't care about clothes.
Kate, and I say this with love, never wanted to do costume fittings. If she could have stood behind the bar and worn a turtleneck and the same pants, she would have been happy. Whereas Farrah and I, we loved fashion and we loved the clothes. We'd go and look for what we wanted to wear.
They would go shopping on Rodeo Drive on Saturday, and Monday morning I would hear Jacqueline, "I have a list of things that I just love." Farrah wanted to be sexier and more avant-garde. When the Paris runway started showing chiffon blouses, things with no bra, and I remember thinking Farrah was the first person that wanted to get rid of the bra.
We were in a time frame where bralessness was next to godliness, if you were a lady. They were not wearing bras.
There was not anything directed to make them as sexy as you can. I mean, how can they not look sexy? I mean, they loved showing flesh.
While the Angels were losing their bras, the ABC censors were losing their cool.
The censors were always checking the wardrobe, and I don't know what happened that they started relaxing that kind of thing, because the first time that the girls started going without their bras, the public nicknamed the show with the jiggles.
Well, all I know is it's really tough on my legs. Those two.
Charlie was pegged as Jiggle TV only due to the fact that none of the women wore usually any bras. And of course, when you're running after bad guys, you jiggle. That's what happens.
The thrust of the press was this was a sexy, overly sexy, trying to think of the word now, whether it was giggly or wiggly or...
Do you mean jiggle? Yeah, well, actually, NBC, somebody at NBC coined that phrase, and the critics picked it up.
It's actually the first time we began to realize that all that press coverage was going to enhance the tune into the show.
Jiggle TV or not, Charlie's Angels was now a certified hit, and the three actresses were stars. But one angel would become a cultural icon.
At the time, she had a very famous swimsuit poster. To this date, it's the largest selling poster of all time. It sold over 8 million copies. That poster is what catapulted Farrah to the superstar status.
That poster, God almighty, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing that poster for sale in some window or another.
You know, people say sex is written in her hair, and, you know, there's also controversy about her nipples, and there's all that, you know. But you look at it, it's all American. It's like apple pie. That's Farrah Fawcett, you know. And she just, at that moment, captured what we were at the time in the 70s and became the icon. Very much like Marilyn Monroe.
She owned it. She owned the screen. She owned everybody watching it. She just had that magic about her. You know, people always say, what makes a star? I don't know what makes a star, but you know it when you see it.
Like many stars, Farrah had her own line of products, including, what else? Farrah Fawcett shampoo.
I just took a shower with Farrah Fawcett.
Shampoo, Joe. He just took a shower with Farrah Fawcett shampoo. And his hair smells clean and fresh, and it has great body.
Great body.
Her hair became, you know, water cooler conversation, as well as other anatomy parts.
And that hair, she had it before she got to Charlie's Angels.
Once the show started, after about 3 or 4 episodes, she went to the producer and said, I think I want to change it. And the producer knew that that was a look that was becoming popular. And he said, oh, no, could you just have it just a little bit longer?
She had gotten to such a level that women would go into beauty parlors and say, do me a Farrah. They all wanted that haircut.
Who knows how many women burn their hair trying to get that look.
Well, I just remember what an incredible craze it turned into. Everybody, if they didn't have blonde hair and they wore a wig, the whole world was running around in a Farrah wig.
Number 4, the Foxy!
Farrah helped catapult the show into the ratings stratosphere, but its real success was based on the ensemble and the show's unique and unlikely concept.
It sounded absurd on the face of it, and in execution it was kind of absurd, but it was so campy and fun and had such energy that I think it really captured everybody's imagination. It was a show that was a kind of phenomenon in the making. It was there to explode.
Those 3 angels, when that logo went on, when the beginning of that show went on, with the music and the whole business, they had you. If you were just a guy who wanted to look at broads, or a woman who came out of the kitchen, or 5 kids who were sitting on the floor and they didn't want to do any more homework, and they wanted to look at naked ladies or near naked ladies. How can you get anything better?
In just one season, Charlie's Angels had become a TV phenomenon, but soon that success would be threatened.
And there on the news it said, Farrah Fawcett is leaving Charlie's Angels. And I sat up in bed and said, what?
Did you know that in the 5 years of the show, none of the Angels ever had an affair? Producer Aaron Spelling says Charlie's Angels was absolutely Puritan.